In this video, we explore what we call life's manual. In part 1, we introduced the idea that life is a game governed by spiritual laws. Today, we go deeper into something profoundly personal and transformative. Life's manual. Many people move through life believing there is no manual. They assume we are born into uncertainty and must survive by guesswork. They believe success is luck and failure is fate. But after many years of living, studying, observing patterns, and reflecting spiritually, I have come to understand this truth. Life does have a manual. The problem is not the absence of direction. The problem is ignorance of it. Most people drift. They drift into careers they do not love. They drift into relationships they do not understand. They drift into habits that slowly shape their future. Drifting feels passive, but it is powerful. Because whatever you drift toward eventually defines you. Drifting happens when you abandon the manual. Florence Scovel Shinn, in The Game of Life and How to Play It, emphasized that there is a perfect plan already existing in what she called the divine mind. She taught that struggle often comes from insisting on our limited human plans instead of aligning with a higher design. When we say, "I will force my way," life resists. But when we say, "Let the divine plan unfold," life begins to cooperate. This is not a passive philosophy. It is alignment. The Bible confirms this idea clearly. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Notice the wording, "I know the plans." The plan already exists in the mind of the Creator. Your responsibility is not to invent your destiny, but to discover it. I will repeat that again. Your responsibility is not to invent your destiny, but to discover it. Ephesians 2:10 deepens this truth. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Take note of the phrase, prepared in advance. That means your assignment preceded your arrival. You were not sent into this world without intention. You are described as workmanship, a deliberate design, not a random accident. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." This verse suggests that your life carries divine intentionality even before your conscious awareness. There is structure beneath what feels spontaneous. And then Ecclesiastes 3:11 tells us, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart." That sense that you were made for something meaningful, that deep internal hunger for purpose, is not illusion. It is eternity placed in your heart. It is evidence of a divine design. This divine design is your manual. Every person has a specific place to fill that no one else can occupy in the same way. No one else has your exact combination of temperament, gifts, experiences, perspective, and spiritual imprint. There is something you are to express that no one else can express exactly as you can. That is destiny. But here is where many fail. They compare instead of discovering. They imitate instead of aligning. They chase trends instead of listening inwardly. The moment you abandon your design to live someone else's script, you step outside your manual, and confusion begins. Florence Scovel Shinn spoke strongly about intuition, what she called flashes of inspiration. These are sudden, clear impressions that come without fear, without pressure, and without confusion. They are not anxious thoughts. They are calm directives. The Bible describes this beautifully. Isaiah 30:21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" That voice is divine guidance. It may not always be audible, but it is perceptible, through conviction, clarity, or inner peace. Psalm 32:8 reinforces this promise. "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." Instruction is promised. Guidance is available. The Creator is not withholding your destiny from you. But guidance requires attention. It requires stillness. It requires inquiry. When a person begins to question deeply, why am I here? What was I created to express? What gift lies hidden in me? Something begins to awaken. Ideas begin to surface. Certain visions repeat themselves in the mind. Dreams become more vivid. Certain desires persist over time instead of fading. These are not random. These are glimpses of the divine design. Here is something profound. You often see your destiny inwardly before it manifests outwardly. Let me repeat that. You often see your destiny inwardly before it manifests outwardly. The design is held in what we might call the divine mind within you, awaiting recognition. You see it in imagination, in desire, in aspiration, long before it becomes reality. That is why prayer is not weakness. It is alignment. You should always pray to God to open your eyes so that you can see your destiny or your divine design. By doing this, you are aligning yourself with the divine purpose. You are aligning yourself with the spiritual laws that define human existence. Your Creator knows why He created you, so you are giving yourself to Him and trusting Him to guide your journey in this turbulent world. A powerful prayer might sound like this: God, open my mind to see the divine design of my life. Reveal the hidden gift placed within me. Help me recognize my calling. Let me not drift aimlessly. Align me with your perfect plan. Remove confusion. Clarify my direction. When this prayer becomes sincere, awareness increases. You begin to sense which paths bring peace and which bring tension, which opportunities feel aligned and which feel forced. The Infinite Spirit begins to guide. But remember, alignment requires courage. Sometimes the divine design will stretch you beyond comfort. Sometimes it will require patience. Sometimes it will contradict popular opinion. But it will always bring coherence, a sense that your inner world and outer actions are moving together. Life's manual is not found in comparison. It is found in communion. You were not born to drift. You were not created without intention. You were designed with purpose. The question is not whether a plan exists. The question is whether you will demand to see it and align with it. In the next part of this series, we will explore how to cooperate daily with this divine design and avoid the traps that pull people away from it. Stay attentive, stay reflective, and stay connected to this journey. The manual exists. It is written into your design. Now it is time to recognize it and live it.